Hey, John Ferguson Smart here. Should BDD scenarios talk about end-to-end UI flows? Should BDD scenarios be UI tests? I often get that question. And in fact, it's thinking about things from the wrong angle. It's really taking things from the wrong perspective. Because if you're thinking, my BDD scenarios need to be end-to-end, they need to be UI, they need to imitate exactly what the business person is, what the user is doing. So I can only have Selenium tests for my UI stuff. And then what I get is that we have a synonym, we have an equivalence between UI scenarios and BDD scenarios, which is total rubbish. If you do that, you'll end up with UI scripts instead of BDD scenarios. You'll end up with, we've finished our story, we just need to write the BDDs. I hear that sometimes, and it's nonsense. Really, if you're asking, should my BDD scenarios be UI tests? It's the wrong question. Your BDD scenarios, your acceptance criteria, your examples and your rules are just that. They are examples and rules of business behavior, of inputs and outputs. It might be a state transition machine. It might be a user journey. It might be some kind of set of business examples and counterexamples. It's nothing to do with the UI. It's nothing to do with an API. The UI and the API are merely a means to demonstrate, to verify that your feature delivers on those business requirements and those examples and those rules that you talk about at the BDD level. The implementation is totally separate from the way you describe the business rules. That's really, really important, because the next level is when you take your business rules, your acceptance criteria, your scenarios, you can then have a talk, you can then have a conversation among the team, and you can decide what is the best way to implement each of those scenarios. And it could be a UI test. It could be via the API. It could be a mixture of both. It could be a unit test. It could be going directly to your code. There are lots of different ways of verifying business rules depending on the context. Don't get hung up about one particular way. Don't get hung up about the test pyramid, about UI tests versus API tests. Think about what you're trying to demonstrate. Then think about the best way to demonstrate that. So that's what I wanted to go through today. Thanks for listening, folks.